davidaei and Robin94, and I'm actually not sure about their PBs at all. So if you guys can help me out with that, that would be great. Okay, I did find davidaei is a 3938 at least. I'm not quite sure about Robin's, unfortunately. So we're off to the prologue here, and I'm gonna hope that most of you guys tune into streams. So I'm gonna try to focus more on the actual race rather than explaining all the mechanics. But if you do have questions, please let either me or the chat know, and I'm sure someone will help you out with that. Off the prologue here, gonna be seeing a lot of jumps since it is a bit fashion walking. Skipping the cutscenes there on the grandma. As we're now moving to the last little bridge section, where we're gonna learn to dash, just like every other time. Okay, we have a deathless prologue. We do have a race going. Sorry. So going into now to Forsaken City, we're gonna see the usual. We're gonna see the dash jumps. We're gonna see the hyper dashes, and we're going to see the wall bounces going quickly here. Okay, davidaei is back, and Robin going quickly here into the city, utilizing these wall bounces here to climb these little chains, or not chains, scaffolding. Skipping that traffic block because it's way too slow for us. We can wall bounce past it. Just flying by here. Robin there with a nice reverse extended hyper there to skip those spikes. So far, a really solid city from him. davidaei just a little bit behind there. Actually, maybe not behind at all. Actually, it's just a bit behind on the IDT. Taking the slow route there, as he is going. He's just about a room so far behind. Ooh, fortunately misses the wall there. He doesn't get the wall bounce. There we go. Get second try. Very nicely done. Robin there. In that room, I don't know what's called that, unfortunately. Just a couple of rooms here away from the chasm checkpoint. davidaei is very, very close behind there. Robin having an unfortunate death there, missing the wave dash. Who does it again there? Giving davidaei a chance there to catch back up. Gets the wave dash there. davidaei gets the first time. These players are now neck and neck. So Runner's PB, I could only find davidaei. He's a 39, 30 something. I couldn't find Robin. So if you guys, if any of you know, then please let me and the chat know. Would be very nice. Now Robin has finished up their city with a 122. davidaei a little bit behind. Probably gonna finish with around a 130. Oh, and having a bit of trouble there, unfortunately, with that wave dash. Robin has 52-14. So yeah. So far, though, Robin is taking the lead here. davidaei taking the slow route, finishing up with the 141 on City. Moving now into Old Site, we're going to see these dream blocks here once again. That just allows you to dash through them. Going to probably see Robin and davidaei going for a little bit of a glitch in a little bit. davidaei seeing he has trouble there with the stream. There we go. He is back. Nice save there from Robin, utilizing sort of a corner jump there. Going for the cutscene skip glitch, but is missing it first time. Decides to go for the safe route second time. Now the dream blocks here are activated, so he's gonna dash through them as much as he can. See on davidaei's screen if he does go for this little glitch. Having a bit of trouble here with this little extended dash type of room. Pretty precise there, gets through it there. Does go for the cutscene skip glitch there, very nicely done first try. So the game stores your Y coordinate when you skip the cutscene. So by being inside the dream block, you can just dash into it as soon as you exit the cutscene there. Robin has now entered the Badline chase sequence. So Badline follows you about 3 seconds behind, copying your every movement. In the first couple rooms, you can sort of outrun her, but then later we'll have to backtrack. Ooh, Robin having a little bit of trouble there, unfortunately. Gets through second time, very nicely done. davidaei going for that little pixel window there. There's a faster strat where you just dash, but of course it's a bit easier to die, so he goes for the safer strat. Oh, falls down there. There's a bit of time. Doesn't die though, so nice save. Robin there. Gonna start here with the long couple last rooms where the backtracking is really gonna come through. Ooh, just barely misses out that line. Very nicely done. Gets to the last room here. Dice on the spikes there, not the worst thing that can happen. See how he goes the second time here. Davidaei just a couple rooms behind. The timers are a bit off sync, so I think they are pretty much tied actually at this point. Robin there in the last room has a bad run in there with bad line just in the very end. That's gonna hurt. Lost quite a bit of time there, and that means that Davidaei is now in the lead here. But Robin not far behind at all. So now we're coming in here to a little movement section here. It's just going to be a lot of precise movements. First with the dream blocks and then without them in the next little part. So it's just going to be a lot of movement. A lot of pretty like optimized and pretty precise jumps here to not get stuck on corners or ledges. So we'll see how these runners do here. So far this is really, really close of a race. We'll see what the runners actually finish up on when the chapter comes to an end. Robin getting stuck here on in the spring room there, gets through it. Davidaei now finishing up with a 4:56 in-game time. Robin with a 5:06.7 actually, so it's 11-second difference here out of old sight, which is very, very little. Going in now to the resort section here, so we're going to see the cycle-based section. The cycles are mostly based on these dust bunnies here, which will kill you in impact, of course, just like basically everything in this game. Each room has an entry cycle and a death cycle, so deaths here will not only cause you to have to reset the room, but also might make you have to use the death cycle, which is usually a lot worse. And runners now just about a room apart. This is a incredibly close race so far, so we'll see how this one plays out. Having a bit of trouble there getting down Robin, but gets through it there. Nice little extended wave, or just a hyper dash through the screen transitions, getting that dash back and getting through that room very cleanly there, both of the runners. And Davidaei now is going to go here to collect that little key for the door. I did forget to talk about keys, but if you need to know what keys do, I don't know. I don't have advice for that. Keys to unlock doors if you need to know. So now they are collecting these coins here. I haven't talked about this either. This game is too fast. So these coins move these blue blocks, and you have to collect all in the room to move them. Pretty much every room with these, you do have to move them because the blocks will just straight up cover the exit. Here we go, using that key to unlock the door on Robin's screen. Davidaei, meanwhile, in the huge mess section here, is a lot of really precise dashes and jumps to get through this efficiently. It can be quite a struggle to learn how to do properly. And because the section is called Huge Mess, we are of course going to clean up this mess for Mr. Oshiro. Starting off here with the box section. These are some really, really harsh tight cycles, especially if you want to do the faster strats. So Davidaei is going for a little bit slower here. Robin is flying through this first screen. Very nicely done, gets the first cycle there. And also goes for the little wave dash there. Really nicely done. As Davidaei there hits the first button at a route of 2:19 in game, or chapter time. And Robin just about 1 second behind here. Now we see Oshiro here. We're going to talk to him after every section. And the reason we go in this specific order in these three sections is just because of whatever is closest to Oshiro. Since it is a huge mess, you don't want to be moving to it too much. So whatever is close to Oshiro is always going to be better. Davidaei there with a nice little bunny hop from the screen position, getting the move, the momentum there. Robin going for the same thing, but had a bit of trouble there with the last one. Gets the second try there, very nicely done. Davidaei missing Mr. Oshiro there, unfortunately. Here we go, gets through it, and it's now going to be moving on to the pool section with the, I don't know if they're towels or bed sheets, something like that. even more tight cycles, especially this first room here has a really harsh death cycle. Both players is going to get the first try in the entry cycle, also very nicely done. Robin with a bit of a not too bad death there. Going to be able to recover and move on. Clearing that last checkpoint there. Robin, I think they were pretty much tied in the chapter time there actually, so yeah, this is going to be an interesting race for sure. Now we're finishing up here with Huge Mess and moving into the elevator shaft section here. So we have even more rooms with pretty hard cycles. This next room especially can be quite difficult, these coins here. To do this one efficiently, you have to be fairly precise with your dashes to both not miss the coin, not get hit by the dust bunnies, and then also getting the dash crystals. So players there are doing it very, very nicely done. First try for both of them, very nice. Yeah, we're just seconds apart here. This resort is incredibly close. It's going to be interesting to see here if these runners decide to go for the 4 chained hypers in this next room here on davidaei screen. Let's see how they do. Goes for the hypers. Ooh, nice save there. Doesn't have to go to the last one to not get. He skips the last one to not die, and gets it first try there. Very nice done with davidaei. Robin having good trouble there. Also gets the hypers. I think that was the 3rd try, so it's still very, very nicely done. Those hypers can be fairly precise, and of course both players are retrying there. Since you do keep your key on death, and you can, it's a lot faster to just retry than having to go back through the room. davidaei now finishing up the elevator shaft and going into the Oshiro fight. I say fight, but we don't really have time to fight. We do have a game speed on, so we're going to be running away from Oshiro here on the roof of the hotel. And here again, we're going to see even more really hard cycles, and especially the last couple rooms can be really, really long. So death there can be incredibly costly. So far, though, davidaei is having no trouble with this hotel manager. It's just flying through these first rooms here. Robin had a couple of deaths, as far as I saw, but is still moving here at a really, really good pace. Gets that first cycle there of Oshiro. Very nicely done. davidaei taking that screen just a little bit safer. Ooh, misses the hyper dash there and has a pretty unfortunate death, meaning that Robin has a chance to catch back up there. Do you guys want me to turn up the sound of David a little bit, maybe? Please let me know in that case. As we now both players now in the last section here, or the last stage room. davidaei actually opting to go for the retry to, I think he did a retry at least, I hope so. The retry to get the death cycle. A lot of runners actually do have quite a lot of trouble with the entry cycle and decide to retry to get the death cycle because they find it easier, and that's fair game to them. Ooh, Robin there with a really unfortunate death here at the end. You're going to lose him quite a lot of time and set him back there a little bit more from David. And Robin there. Oh no, he gets the wall dump instead. Oh, that dash was just a little bit short and he actually wall dumps instead of just getting on the platform. That's really, really unfortunate. Loses a lot of time. Ah, damn, that's really unfortunate. Oh. Okay, I've turned up the volume of David a little bit. Please let me know if it's too much. Robin having quite a lot of trouble here with the last room. Oh man, I feel it. I've done that too many times as moving through it. Over on David's screen, we do have Golden Ridge going on, so we have more mechanics here. We have clouds that are trampolines, green bubbles that just act like another dash. Oh, Robin there finishes up after just some really harsh deaths there in the last room. As I mentioned, it can be quite costly. Wasn't enough. Okay, I'll turn up a bit more. And so there's clouds, there's green bubbles, and there's also this wind that just is wind and pushes you around. See here, davidaei is now probably going to go, yeah, he's going to go for the spike jump here. So this is a pretty precise little wall bounce there. You have to do 2 wall jumps in a row to get that. Very nice done on first try, though. Utilizing there the dash, you get your dash back on screen assist, and davidaei uses it there to do a wall bounce on the end, or the start of the second room. And then getting the dash back there so we can actually make it all the way up. Nice little wall bounce there from Robin. I haven't seen that strategy before. Very nicely done. I do apologize if I'm talking too quick. My voice is getting a bit tired, so I hope that you guys are following along still. So, Robin there with a couple of nice, really nice wall bounces there. Ooh, nice done, really good. Gets that double wall bounce there. It can be quite precise, and then actually goes for a little spike there, which is pretty hard to do, but very well done. Davidai going for that hyper dash, missed it, and this the dash up instead, but does get the back up there with the air block. So there's a couple of rooms here between these players. Those unfortunate deaths there from Robin. It was pretty harsh deaths there in the last room. Has set them apart a little bit. Yeah, another wall jump there instead of getting on top of the block. Yeah, Robin seems to be having a bit of trouble there. Grab button is your friend, people. Davidaei now on the last little auto scroller here. Moving into the harsh wind section here. At first, the wind is actually going to help us a bit. But in just a couple rooms, we're going to see just how harsh wind can really be. Robin, they're going for the reverse. Cypress does actually get it. Nicely done. And then, oh no, misses the wave dash on that second platform. That's really unfortunate. Davidaei now in the Harshwind section here, where you basically can't move. You can't really walk. You just walk a couple pixels per second here. But, of course, we do have the speed tech. The different dashes here, which do counteract the wind's backwards momentum. So we can still move through these screens here fairly quickly. Of course, there's also these snowballs, and if you guys know me at all, you know that I dislike these snowballs very heavily. They come from the right side of the screen, tracks your vertical position, and then just flies in without warning, and has caused my runs to fail too many times. Davidaei, however, is not having too much trouble here. He had I think he had one death there at the very start, but it's moving through this harsh wind at a very good pace there. Gets out of the snowball section. Just a couple of rooms left here. Robin, meanwhile, nice little wall bounce there to skip the second green bubble, and is also going into the harsh wind section. Oh, Davidaei with a small death there. Not too bad. Just about, I don't know, 3 seconds, I think. I think all the snowball rooms are probably going to be the sweaty rooms, to be honest. Oh, that's I'm sorry, King OJ. King JO, actually. Davidaei now has finished up with Golden Ridge at 15:37. Robin, I accidentally jumps off there. That's not too great. Oh, wow. He actually... Okay. I thought it was that, but he actually just bops the snowball. Very nicely done there. In the last couple rooms here of the snowball section, and he's going to finish up... what's it called? Finish up the Golden Ridge section here in just about 5 rooms, I think. So... Tries to go for the little... what is he? Reverse? Yeah, he's going for reverse hyper there. Got second try there, very nicely done. Meanwhile, Davidaei now started up the mirror temple here. And we have dash blocks that move when you dash on the little path. We have these red bubbles that let you dash infinitely. And then a little bit later, we're going to meet some new friends. I do say friends very sarcastically. There's also these switches you're going to see in a couple of different Davidaei, where switches just unlock doors. Like switches to Robin. They're finishing up Golden Ridge at, let's see, 16:46. So he's about a minute behind this point. That last Oshiri room did cause quite a lot of lost time for Robin. But he did have a fairly solid Golden Ridge, so yeah, this is actually still anyone's game at this point. We have a couple of really long chapters ahead of us here. Quite a lot of time loss. Is that alright? I think it is. Davidaei, they're going for a little bit of a skip there. Usually we have to get a key for that door down there, but because you need a key for a collectible later, you can skip that. So we use that to our advantage as well as speedrunners, of course. Davidaei, they're also getting that first key there, and it's going to go into the... I don't remember the name of this section. The dark section, that's what I'm going to call it now. Meanwhile, Davidaei has finished up the dark section and is going to move into the unraveling section here. So we're going to start off by meeting our new friends. not just meeting them, but actually just being our new friends. So we're gonna meet the Seekers here. They're going to not only track our position currently, but also basically home in on us once we've started moving. Right now we're just gonna dash through here. We also see that they can break red blocks and they can kill Madeline. Which is gonna be a problem later on, of course, because we don't want to die. We have a game to complete here. Also meet Badline here and gonna skip these 4 cutscenes here all in a row. Nice, he doesn't reach. Really well done, davidaei. Guess through that room. And Robin here in the last really long room here of the dark. Ooh! Just barely managing to avoid those spikes. That was very close, but he is going to finish up the dark section here and moving into the unraveling section. So here we go. On davidaei screen, we have now met the Seekers officially. And as you see there, davidaei manipulating that Seeker to get the top point for him. And that's going to be a recurring theme here in the first, in this unraveling section here. Quite a lot of rooms where you can save time by just making the Seekers take up coins for you. Less work for us is always good. Robin there has also now managed to eat himself. davidaei now going to go into the last room here of the unravel section, which can be a really long room. Nice, gets that little boost there to kill the Seeker. And as you saw, the Seeker didn't actually pick up the coin until he sort of exploded after death. So the explosion can also pick up coins, which is a very nice addition. Actually wasn't in originally, but they did patch it in, which is very nice of the good developers of this game. Now we're going to see Surge Skip coming up here on davidaei's screen, the by far biggest skip in the game. Going to save him about like 2 to 3 minutes here. It's a fairly simple thing. I think it's just going to go for the reverse extended dash jump there. Nicely done. Gets second try without deaths. Very, very good. Yeah, it's a very solid, pretty good temple here for David so far. davidaei got. Whew! That's a bit of a harsh death there. Those Seekers can be quite nasty. Robin now in has a couple of rooms here left for the unraveling section, but is also moving through at a pretty good pace here. As davidaei now in the last 2 rooms before the Theo section. See if Robin also goes for that little straight dash down. Nope, he decides to go straight for it. Wait. Wow, that was a really nice strat there from Robin, actually. Doesn't even break the block there from the Seeker. That was really, really smart. Kudos to that. davidaei now started the Theo section. So we see our friend here, Theo, in the crystal ball, or crystal thing, I don't know. And he has a couple of interesting properties, most of them not that great, because we can't actually dash or walk very fast with Theo in our hands, but we can utilize the momentum from the different dash techniques. What's it called? Utilize the different dash techniques to carry momentum through picking up Theo. And if you pick up Theo with a hyper dash, you actually get a little bit of a speed boost as well. So it can be very nice. Sally, can you go and clip that little thing by Robin? That would be very nice of you. To show Birdo at least. Robin now also in the last 2 rooms here before the Theo section. And davidaei is in the last couple of rooms here of the Theo section. There's a clip function on the bottom right of the Twitch. I think it's Alt X, that's the shortcut. Anyway. Yeah, davidaei now has like 2 rooms left here of the dangerous Theo section at least. Nice little booster to get over that block. Let's see what strategy goes for here. Okay. Interesting. Gets the little switch there. Nicely done. And finishes up that room. Now on the way out of the temple here, we're going to see the last little room here, which can't really kill you, but it can be quite annoying because this there's going to be a giant eye at the end. It's sending out these pulses as you see coming across the screen. And you can dash through them, but it's pretty precise and can still mess up movement really easily. But he does get through it very, very nicely there. And finishing up with a 5:56 mirror temple, which is a very, very solid time. Now going into reflection. Robin, they're accidentally jumping into the spike pit with Theo. Very unfortunate. And I think it's about in the middle here of the Theo section. So, ooh, nice little dash there. What's it called? Dash there under the Seeker actually to live. Very nice with Robin here. In the last 5 rooms here of Temple as well. davidaei, meanwhile, is using these feathers here. So feathers just allow you to fly for a bit, and you can control these omnidirectionally with an analog stick. I'm actually not sure if davidaei uses control or not. I did see some keyboard inputs on the menu, so he might actually still be using, or he might be using keyboard, which is fine. But just for the feather part, the analog sticks are usually better because of the omnidirectional ability of the feathers. And if you are moving at tight enough turns, you will not actually lose speed, which is very nice. Darwin there in the last room there of Mirror Temple. Has lost a little bit more time here, unfortunately, over davidaei, but is still going to finish up a really solid time here. It's going to be about a 6:30-ish, depending on how much these pulls are going to mess him up. There we go. Gets it. There we go. 6:30. Nicely done. davidaei now meeting up with the Kevin blocks. So the Kevin blocks named after one of the developers will move in the direction, or move towards where you hit them, basically, where you dash into them for as long as they can, either until they hit a wall, or actually it's just until they hit a wall. That's all there is. Or I think they can go off the screen actually too, but you know. So now we're gonna go into the forked section here. So there's gonna be 2 paths here for the most part, but of course, since we are speedrunners, we have optimized this, and we have almost universally agreed on a good path that is the fastest. There's one room in the end which is sort of debated which is better to go for. The task does differently. It saves a bit of time, but it's not really that RTA viable, so it's a bit split. So we'll see how the runners decide to go for there. But for the most part, I think we're gonna see them go the same routes. Ooh, Robin there having an unfortunate not quite getting up, but does fall straight through and doesn't die actually. So that was pretty nice save there. Now also meeting up with the Kevin blocks here. Neither of the runners did go for lake skip, which is a bit unfortunate, but hey, it is a pretty precise trick. Nice little skip there from Robin, not wanting to wait for the Kevin block. davidaei, meanwhile, has met up with the bumpers as well, so the bumpers act just like pinball bumpers do, and if you don't know how they work, then ask someone else to explain it. So I can't. Okay, so davidaei did go for the top route there in the land. So this is the room that most runners will not go for, actually. It is technically faster tasks-wise, but if you want to do it the fast way, it's really, really precise. So usually people will still go for the bottom run. Oh, okay. davidaei actually doing retry there to get the death cycle for the bumpers in the end there. That's pretty interesting. Does work out for him very well, and he gets that first try. Those bumpers there in the end can be kind of weird to deal with the way they move on the entry cycle. So davidaei deciding that he wants the death cycle and does the retry there. So that's pretty interesting, and it does work out for him. So no complaints there. And now we have this little spike section here with some developer put in here skips here. Why did I say here twice? I don't know. Okay, goes for the safe start there in the end. Besides, the trouble of the last skip isn't worth it. Also, there another retry there to skip forward a bit. You can do a couple hypers there, but it can be a bit weird, so he decides just to retry to get forward. And davidaei is now going to move into the battle line fight here after this Kevin ride. So the battle line fight doesn't really introduce new mechanics, but it does. It has a lot of precise movements and just general optimization here to punch battle line, straight in the face as fast as the runners can do. Robin had a bit of trouble there with the bumpers, but let's get through. And it's moving along. davidaei has now started the battle line fight, so once you hit that line, you get your dash back, and usually the runners will use the dash to get to the ground quicker, since we can't really use any of the movement tech in the air. So to go faster, we want to get to ground fast. So Robin has taken the bottom path there, so he is utilizing these bumpers in a pretty interesting way. You can, by holding away on the frame you hit the bumpers, you get about twice the distance, and it can be used in that room to skip a bumper. Robin didn't really get that time, but usually that's how that room is done. Still gets it pretty fast, though it doesn't lose too much time to miss that. Now also in the last feather room here, before talking to Grandma. Gets to the bumpers without the death cycle there, doesn't even need it, it's very nicely done. davidaei is having a really clean clean battleline fight so far, so that's really nice for him. Robin now also entering here the huge mess of spikes. I don't quite know what to call it, just a lot of spikes. Gets the first two. He does go for the this. Oh no! Gets that. That's a really bad death. Dying there loses a lot of time because usually we can go through this this section of Robin's in. You would get like 2 or 3 checkpoints on the way, but because we do the skips, we don't get them at all. And you have to retry the room, so that's really unfortunate for him. davidaei, meanwhile, still moving into the balance section. Had a bit of death there, but not losing too much time. Robin now in the last little water section here before the Kevin ride to battling. So davidaei now gonna go into the second segment here of the fight where Badline is gonna turn Ultimate Evil and start moving the ground around her because magic, I guess. I don't know. Robin there also starts the Badline fight there. Has lost a bit more time here on David, unfortunately, but still on pretty good pace overall. Small there for Robin, not gonna do too much there. Ooh, just barely avoiding that little crusher block or crushing block. And davidaei now in the second to last room of the entire fight here. Tries to cling to that wall. Okay, that works. He's live. Now in the last room here, this is a very punish room as well, just because of how long it is. So far, it's doing good. Barely avoiding that laser. Nice little dash there, and he's gonna finish that fight there. It's a really, really solid reflection time for davidaei. So now we're gonna see him leveling up. He's gonna get his second dash and his pink hair. As he's gonna move up the last little dash section here and then go into summit. Robin, meanwhile, is let's see here, in the middle about of the battleline fight there. Still a bit to go, but is still also on fairly good pace overall. I think I still don't know his PB, so yeah, that was a really, really good reflection from davidaei actually. So we'll see how summit goes from. So just as a reminder, let me actually find his PB is a 39:38. I don't quite remember what his time out of reflection was. So he has about 10.5 minutes to PB, so it's gonna be fairly close, but absolutely nothing impossible here. Robin, meanwhile, in the last room before the second segment of the battleline fight, so still a little bit to go, but it's moving through it at a pretty good pace here. davidaei now starting up with the steerometer section here of Summit. So Summit is a recollection of all the chapters, starting off here with the Reflection-esque chapter. We're going to move through chapters 1 through 5 and then finishing up with Summit after this. So Robin has now entered the Ultimate Evil section of the battleline fight, as I like to call it. So there's a couple rooms left here to go. Still looking at a fairly good reflection time overall. So davidaei now finishing up with the steerometer section, and I forgot to mention that at the end of each of these sections there is going to be some purple orbs, which is battling, and she's going to help boost you up to the next little chapter, sub-chapter, whatever you want to call it. So we're actually going to see them use these zipper blocks a lot more than chapter 1, just because you actually need them here for the vertical height. I don't know why. For the verticality, because you can't really do it with just the 2 dashes usually. Robin there in the last room of the battleline fight. Looking good so far. Nice little bumper boost there, and finishes up that fight. Very nice done. Gonna get about a mid-8 minute reflection, which is absolutely not bad by any means. And davidaei now in the last couple rooms here of the 500 meter section. Robin there finishing up reflection there. 835, not bad at all. Davidaei, meanwhile, I started out with the 1000-meter section. So this is the chapter 2 sub-chapter here. It's going to be a huge amount of dream blocks everywhere. And this section, we're going to see a lot more usage of jumping out of dream blocks, which is not something I mentioned. You can jump out of dream blocks, which gives you a bit of extra height and a little bit of extra speed as well. So it's going to be used in a lot of these dream blocks here, hopefully. Yeah, very nice down there from davidaei, getting enough height there with the jump to get to the top dream block. Usually we have to get a spring, which is a little bit of time, not too much, but hey, why not get the free time save? Robin has now finished up with the reflection and starting with 0 meters here. So he's looking at a pretty good pace. I don't actually know what his PB is, but I'm gonna assume it's on good pace because why assume bad things for people? That's not fun. Now moving for davidaei, moving into the 1500 meter section here, which is mostly seen as the hardest chapter. A lot of tight cycles, some pretty cool strats, but overall it's just some really punishing rooms, especially in the end, with some pretty hard strats. So we'll see how davidaei goes. So far it's going fine. He's flying through these first rooms. Very nice there. Has no troubles with the cycle so far. Don't want to jinx it. Gets to first room, very nicely done. Robin, meanwhile, has now started up with the 500 meter section here. So let's see, davidaei not going for the ultra dash strat, which is perfectly acceptable. It's a fairly hard and really precise strat. So takes a bit of time there, waits for a good cycle, and gets through that without deaths. Very nice. That's, if you don't know the good strat there, taking it slow is almost always a good bet, because losing or dying there will lose you a huge amount of time. So davidaei taking it smart and taking it slow. Robin is now gonna soon be in the last couple rooms here of 500, soon going into 1000. Davidaei now is finished up with 1500, or last room of 1500. So he's gonna be going into Golden Ridge very soon. Now coming into Golden Ridge here, we're gonna see some more red bubbles, more clouds, more wind, and of course, my favorite, more snowballs. Oh god. davidaei going for the little tree screen transition there to get enough height to get up here. So this is one of those very few moments where going for the strawberry path is actually faster than the non-strawberry path. This is at 90%, so we don't really need the strawberries, but if it's faster, we will go them. Go to take them. Robin now has also joined, or not joined, he's going into the 1000 meter section here, so gonna see how he does with these dream blocks here. davidaei now is in this normal room, about to finish up there, very nice, done. Let's see if he goes for the auto scroll skip here. Yep, he's gonna go for it. Oh, doesn't get the extended dash and has to retry that. That's unfortunate. So you get a lot of momentum there from that arrow block. And that together with an extended hyper dash that davidaei doesn't get second try either, unfortunately, allows you to clear that huge amount of spikes there. Let's see, third try here. Nice speed, nicely done. Now the little wall monster as well. Gets that first try, very nicely done there. That wall monster is a lot more precise than it looks, and it can actually just cause the whole rest of the scroll skip to fail. So, luckily we didn't see that from davidaei this time. So it's a good job by him. Second auto scroll here in a row. There is a small skip there, but it's kind of precise and can be very dangerous if you haven't practiced it enough. So, ooh, davidaei almost get clipped out of spikes, but just barely manages to avoid death. Robin now also in the 1500 meter section here. So let's see how he does with these cycles there. Being a bit too straight, or like what's it called, a bit too fast there, but does get through it. Nicely done there with the lock, or the key room, coin room. Sorry. God. Excuse me. Davidaei now about to finish up the 2k meter section here and go into my favorite section, the 2500 meter. As Robin is just about to go into the second long room here of 1500. Let's see what he's trying to go for. He also goes for the slower non-ultra dash strat, which is... Oh, unfortunately he does die there at the end, which is very unfortunate. Wait, did he? No, he didn't. Yeah, Robin having a bit of trouble there, losing quite a lot of time there. As I said, those rooms are pretty long, so Hopefully I'll get through that soon. Meanwhile, davidaei is now going to go for key skip, I think. Yeah, he's going for key skip. So, couple of pretty precise wall jumps. Gets it first time, easy every time, except if you're on good pace, at least for me. Gets the key skip first. That was really, really nicely done. And of course, on davidaei's screen a couple of times here, we're gonna have door skip coming up, so it's gonna be interesting seeing if he's gonna go for it or not. He's actually on pretty good summit pace. I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to PB or not, but I'm gonna keep my eye out. Up to he does go for a door skip actually. It was one. Oh, that's just a little bit too late there and gets hit by the spikes. Door skip goes for it again. Robin has just finished up the 15 me section. He gets door skip, second try, really nicely done by davidaei. As Robin now is getting into 2K. Door skip saves the second, it's not worth it, but it's just fun. So, thank you davidaei for letting us enjoy the door skip. Well, it is worth it if you get it, of course, but seeing is so precise. You shouldn't Scene is not really worth going for. Now we're into the 3K section here, the final home stretch here of Celeste Mountain. So it's going to be a really, really vertical section here, and going to be emphasized here very soon by downdraft, followed by updraft. But first we have downdraft here, so it's going to give us a lot higher gravity, lower jumps, less hang time, I guess, less floatiness, just all the things that come with higher gravity, basically. So the thing that's really good to utilize here is wall bounces, and so far davidaei is flying through these first couple screens here with some really nice wall bounces there to get a lot of upward speed. So it's really important to utilize that here. So far davidaei is having no trouble here. Robin there in second auto score of goal of a 2K. And at this point, it does look like it is going to be davidaei's race to take here. I don't see Robin really coming back here, unless davidaei manages to mess up way too much. But Robin is still on good pace here, so now getting into the second to last room of 2K. Whoa! Okay, I have no idea how he didn't die, but good job, Robin. davidaei now in the 14th and 13th flag, some really, really punishing flags here. Actually, that's not even yet, my bad. Now we're coming to 14 and 13. Which are some really, really punishing flags. Have some really precise jumps of very different kinds here in the end. So the 14th is all about stamina management. Gets it very nicely down there. No trouble. And the second one has a really precise dash right at the end of this fairly long section, which also involves some coin collecting. So, that's a short death there. That's a really bad death, unfortunately. And davidaei is going to miss his PB here, unfortunately. I still don't know Robin's PB, so I don't know if he's on pace or not for it. But let's all pretend that he is, and hope that he gets it. Flag 11 there for davidaei. In the final part here, getting to flag 10 here out of 30. Robin here also going for key skip. Let's see how he does with it. Gets it first try also. Really, really nicely done. Doesn't even need a setup for it. So that was really, really, really well done by him. And davidaei now on flag 7. So he has 2 more flags of updraft before the normal win section. The very, very last part. So also in the next room of Robin, I actually didn't talk about this. It's a really, really tight fit here between some spikes with 2 really precise dashes. We'll see how he does. So gets hit by those bottom spikes, unfortunately. Oh, decides to go for the safe right there. Okay. Good job. And davidaei now on flag 3 here. Robin going for door skip, misses the first one. See if he goes for it again. Yep, he's going for it. Got the first one. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Yeah, he gets it. What? I apologize, but what? Okay. Wow. Clip that right the fuck now. Oh, gee, I shouldn't swear. I apologize. Clip that right now, please. Thank you. Davidaei now on flag 1. Wow. Just everyone clip that. I don't even... sorry, Davidaei now finishing up with that 41.01. He's gonna win the race here. So congratulations to Davidaei. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was a bit ridiculous. I apologize for that. Anyway, Robin here in the 3K section. Yeah, all three of one commentator. Sure, that makes sense. Okay, Robin now in the download section as well. So let's see if we can get Davidaei in for a bit of an interview here. So yeah, congratulations to Davidaei there. Pretty solid run overall. Gonna see how Robin does here in the end of 3K. Okay, so Davidaei is gonna unfortunately go sleep soon, so he's not gonna join us. But we do still have Robin here, gonna be finishing up here. He's currently on flag 17, so we got a little bit to go here. I still don't know his PB, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna assume that he's on PB pace. So go Robin, yay. Running on flag 13 here, one of the more punching ones as I mentioned earlier. See how he does with it. Does the diagonal. What a mad lad. Does the diagonal bastard. That's really risky. But very nicely done. Also gets the neutral wall jump there over those spikes. Very, very solid 3K so far from Robin here. On flag 10 here, so last home stretch here. Now on the last 6 flags here, last one of the updraft section, and then just the final home stretch here before finishing off this run. Yeah, Revo, Robin has been going for pretty crazy strats, that door skip especially, which is really cool. But with crazy strats comes some crazy death as well, so. Flag 3 here. Yeah, these can be some pretty rough 3 flags here, 4 through 2. But Robin so far doing well. Yep, there we go. Just that one small death there, which is perfectly fine. Can happen. Oh, nice. Gets the reflex crystal back there. Gets the reflex crystal to get his dash back. To save that. Very nicely done. Now on flag 1 here, I'm gonna finish up. Look to be a 45, 55-ish, I think. Let's see. $45.51 there from Robin. Very, very solid race. I have no idea if it's PB or not, so. But it was a very, very good race here, so it was a blast to watch. Let's see if we can get a hold of Robin. yeah, that was a really good race. So happy I got to watch that. I hope you guys could bear with my commentary over this. I know my voice has been a bit tired here, so hopefully I've done these two runners justice. I'm gonna give Robin a couple minutes here, see if he wants to come in for an interview. Let's see here. So, of course, this is not the last race. We do have a bunch of races coming up in just a couple of hours. Actually, in 1 hour here, we'll have KVC versus Laurie D. Bunnykins. And then at 8 p.m., we have a pretty hot one. We have TGH versus M Sushi. Really don't want to miss that one. I think that's going to be a really nice race between them. Alright, so Robin has also declined the interview, so I'm just going to finish up here. So, TGH versus M Sushi, you really don't want to miss that one. That's at 8 p.m. over on, or actually here on Speed Gaming too. So be sure to come back for that one. And when we have races at 7, 8, 9, and 11 p.m. here today, and then tomorrow even more races. So it's going to be a bunch of Celeste coming up. And I think that is just about it. So really nice race there. Thank you both, Robin and Davidaei, for a good show. Congrats to Davidaei for the win. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good day.